Lady Ada, what is this?
Hey everybody, and welcome to Show and Tell. It's me, Lady Ada, with me, Mr. Lady Ada, the OG hosts. Sometimes we have people from the fruit come host for us, but now you're stuck with us. Let's check in with people around the maker community. What are they printing? What are they soldering? What are they coating?
Yeah.
What are they long catting?
It's also your sneak peek of some of the things that we do here at Adafruit right before Show and Tell. We have one of our weekly meetings, and we kind of go over all of our projects as our own little version of Show and Tell. But we like to show our work as we work on things, so you get a sneak peek of what's ahead. All right, Maker Melissa, what are you working on this week?
I have been working on going through and updating the Blinka Display IO, so that's more up to date with the CircuitPython's Display IO, because it was originally written when CircuitPython 4 was out, and there's been quite a few changes up to 8. And so one of the things I've added is added support for the monochrome and the grayscale displays. So this is one of the grayscale ones. And so I'm just going to run a little demo here. And there it goes, displaying Hello World. It actually doesn't look flickery like that in real life, but apparently with the camera it does. Anyway, so it's actually working really well. Before it was kind of looking like a bunch of garbled stuff because it wasn't supporting grayscale at that point. So it wouldn't support anything under 8 bits per pixel.
Okay, well, yeah, the OLEDs, they're passive, so there's a lot of, the flicker shows up on camera, not in real life. But it looks really good, and excited to get Display IO support. But I want to see the most impressive technological feat you have there is the sticker identifying that as a 2 GB memory Raspberry Pi.
That's because there's like 3 different varieties. So
I know.
I label the 2s and the 8s and leave the 4s unlabeled.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thanks.
All right, JP, what you got cooking this week?
Hey, I've got some Legos and synthesizers and color sensing cooking. So this was this is kind of a prototype I've built and a little testing station for this idea that Limor had of revisiting a project Jay Silver did back at the MIT Media Lab, which was a color sensing glove that could sense the colors on some Legos and then play MIDI. So we're going to try to combine this all in one as a synthesizer rather than MIDIing out to something else. But the first thing I had to do was take a color sensor and characterize some different blocks to find out which ones work well and are different enough from the other ones. So that's why I built this kind of little sliding rig thing here, and you can hear it in action. So here it's noticing a lime green one. I don't know how well you'll hear the synth, but it's playing some notes. Here's this little pink one here. When I'm over black or actually just not getting much light back at all, doesn't matter the color, I turn off the note so I can build up chords if I want. And then shut them off. So this is kind of interesting. So some of the things I'm finding out is, for example, this lime green block looks a lot more green to that color sensor than this pure green one. This one is just way closer to blue than this one. So this one's actually a better one to test on. So I've got some rigorous Lego block color testing going on right now. And I'll also be trying out some different sensors. We have a couple of different color sensors, and I'm going to see which ones work best for this. This one is a pretty accurate one, but a little bit slow. It takes about 300 milliseconds for it to read all 9 of the color channels that it can read, or 8. I can't remember how many it is. So this is my my little rig that I'm working with here, and I'll be showing this and some other stuff on the show tomorrow. So stop on by and come and see where this is headed.
All right, looks good.
I saw in Lego News that they were thinking of doing recycled bottles as their substance for Legos, but it turns out that's not eco-friendly.
Yeah,
like the math on let's try to figure out because everyone wants to figure out what's the least wasteful thing. Yeah. Turns out recycled plastic bottles
take some energy.
It's more energy to do it. So it'll be interesting to see what Lego does.
Yeah.
I think they use whatever form of petroleum.
Yeah, these are ABS for the typical. That's
I think a philosophy that this is just a philosophy. Not a lot of people maybe agree with this, but I think designing something well that lasts a long time and is not a fad is more important.
Yeah.
Like you know, we have a joke that my friend had a kid, and they didn't want to tell the mother-in-law. This has happened. They didn't want to tell the mother-in-law because it was like early. They didn't want to tell the mother-in-law. So by coincidence, the mother-in-law emailed or called one day and said, "Oh, you know, I'm going to throw out some of the stuff. We're cleaning a house, and we found this gigantic box of Legos. Gee, I was going to just toss them out." And the son said, "No, don't throw them out. Keep them. I'm going to pick them up next time I'm there." And she said, "Are you going to have a kid?" It's so common that you're like, I want all my toys back. So that's
your line. That's funny.
I think the repairability of things, and that's what we strive for, like publishing the source code, publishing the plans, and then make something repairable that you actually own is the way to go for sustainability. Often it's hard to come up with a material that's of this planet that still doesn't require something to make something.
That's how we did the wooden Lego blocks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, JP, thank you for continuing to be a champion of reuse and reuse.
Yeah.
For all sorts of things.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's go to.
I should get credit for recycling all the Media Lab projects.
Yeah. Let's go to Scott with some interesting, amazing displays with CircuitPython.
Hello. I'm glad I realized I was in show and tell because I was writing up an issue and I was like, oh, wait, I should pay attention. So what we've got here is this is a prototype Qualia board here. And you can see I've started to try and label my stuff as well. All my ESP boards, I've started adding labels for what the module is because those are, they're kind of, you can read them, but they're not like pleasant to read. So I've been trying to label those with my Goodwill label maker. But thanks to Jeff for doing the hard work on the RGB matrix stuff. I was able to get this round display working, and I have this like display ruler, I call it, where it's like got some of these different colors and different measurements for a display. I have a rectangular version, and with the round one, I wanted to make one that that measures out the round display. So you can see that it's like, this is 480 pixels round. So this is the 400 line, and then the 500 line is off the screen. And then this color bar here is like super useful for knowing that your colors are in the right order. And it was also super useful when I was doing the 7-color e-paper support, where it like tries to pick, the most appropriate color. So I found these like display ruler bitmaps really helpful. And so I made a round one to test this display that Jeff added support for.
Okay, well, now that you helped review the PR and we merged in support for dot clocks. Yep. What project do you think would be cool to make with some of these funky, weird displays and high resolution images and touchscreens?
Well, the thing I think I'm most excited about is actually not a display, but the chip that I pointed you to that does RGB to HDMI.
Yeah. Oh, wow, they're not out yet, man. You're dropping all the secrets.
Like I've had this long quest for HDMI because we have so many screens that take in HDMI, and that's another way that we could get there, and I'm pretty excited about it. So.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing neat about HDMI is it makes us recording demos of what's going on the screen a lot easier too. So.
And one thing I've been thinking we could do with high-speed USBs, we could actually like pretend to be a webcam with display IO output. Would be neat too.
Yeah.
And then you could capture it straight from the device as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much, Scott.
Thank you both.
All right. Speaking of jepler, what you got going on?
Hello. If you want to go to my downcam, I'll show you. First of all, I found this blast from the past just in my drawer. So looking at the date on it, it's like the people who are in middle school today, Raspberry Pi computers have always been in their world, and that's pretty wild.
They're now grandparents.
And Lamore spoiled what I was going to show, which is Longcat.
You're showing it.
Yeah. So we got this display working just today. It has some quirks. There are 80 pixels over here to the left of the display that go nowhere. So we had to add support to CircuitPython for that. I was like really picky about the timing. But we're doing it now. So that's great. The other thing I'm going to show you is you've talked about kind of the tearing as you load different images. CircuitPython looks weird while it's loading an image. So I'm just going to restart the code here, hopefully. Let's just hit the reset button.
Sure.
And this is booting up the display, booting up CircuitPython. But it kind of goes a little bit chunky, but also a little bit irregular, which is weird. And I think this has to do with the stuff. This microcontroller has a cache, and when it writes to the PS RAM, it goes in the cache first. And only when you flush the cache is it guaranteed to be seen by the display peripheral. Otherwise, it might see it or it might not, depending on the details of the cache. So it's interesting that it looks like that, and it looks a little weird. But once it's done, it shows and is stable. So,
yeah, BMPs
anyway.
are also weird because they draw from the bottom up. Like BMPs are very funky in a lot of ways.
Yeah, there's funny stuff. Anyway, the last display, which I hope to get in tomorrow, is this slightly smaller version of the same thing. But you've promised me it's not crazy. It'll be just fine.
This one, yeah, that bar display with the long cat is the weirdest display because you have to initialize it over SPI. It's got this weird, it's 900, it's vertical, so it's 900 pixels tall. And the memory inside is 400, but it's really only displaying 320 pixels wide. So there's it's, and I even emailed the company. I was like, why'd you do that? And they're like, yeah, we don't really know. And I'm like, okay. Maybe it's leftover. There might be some mathematical reason why they did it. So it's definitely the weirdest. You started with the easiest square display, then did the round displays that Scott showed, and then the long display. But you're going to take off for a bit. So this was a great finish.
Yeah, I'll be away for a few weeks.
Is that actually how long the long cat is?
This is not how long Longcat is. So I did a little research into this because I was all new to Longcat. But the original Longcat is shorter than this.
Yeah.
If you look, this is like Japanese lettering, and right here is a weird anomaly. So they've doubled the middle part of Longcat for this one.
That's not a regular cat.
And then I had to stretch it by about 10% to make it be the size of the screen. So this is a lie. The Longcat is a lie.
Oh, no. Well, you fooled me. What a beautiful long cat. All right, we're going to have a slightly shorter long cat for the
Well, this long cat won't be quite as big.
Yes, the proportion. And there's, I have a display that's 8 inches, and it's, the same, like there's that display, but 8 inches tall. So that'll be the longest cat.
Yeah. I think what I want to do with this display, this looks like a kind of digital desk clock display. So put some nice big letters on it, that blinking colon. That's what I want to do.
I definitely think that even the bar display, you've seen fake Nixie clock, people just sort of we can get Nixie, so we make like a fake clock. We might.
We could do some Nixie style bitmaps. That would be fun.
Yeah. All the stuff you're going to miss out. Bye.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Jeff. Excellent work.
Right.
And this is one of those times where, we have these memes burned in our head from a while ago, and we finally can put them, like the long cat meme was made for these displays, and it was made for, folks to be like, oh yeah, I remember that in long display. Long displays. I could put this long cat on there. And now it's really easy with CircuitPython. I can drag and drop an image, because before it was couldn't really do stuff like this. So good work. This will be a lot of fun for a lot of people.
Yes. And drop in hints. There will absolutely be PyPortals for each one of these.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, that's all. We're going to have a different permutation of PyPortal. We can do round displays now. We can do ink. We can do a lot of stuff now. It's just been really hard until recently. The hardware is finally there and available. And now we wanted to make something easy. My little gripe, my little rants that I've had is you can buy stuff from AliExpress. You can get stuff from even Waveshare, but maybe you get a demo that works, but that's it. Maybe if you're lucky. And there's just a lot of stuff. Speaking of e-waste, a lot of folks buy stuff, they put it in a drawer, and then they never really use it because it's the only thing that worked was a demo. So we want to make sure whatever we release, you can actually use and do, and people aren't just hey, I got the demo working, but nothing else. We saw that, we waited, we saw this feedback across everywhere for any unique display, and we want to make sure that doesn't become the experience for anyone. Not to dunk on any particular thing. I get it. Here's cheap displays, get them. But there's a lot that goes into it to make them work. All right.
All right, thank
Thank
you,
you, Jeff.
Jepler.
Noe, what you got going on this week?
Hey folks, this week we wrapped up the guitar, the Synth Guitar. It's a CircuitPython project using the Synth IO module. Collabed with Liz to do the code for it, and I 3D printed, designed the SG inspired guitar body. So we got a speaker inside the headstock, and we got some Neo keys and a fun strum bar, which is inspired by the Guitar Hero game controller. So we can do some fun 8-bit kind of sounds. We got the accelerometer controlling the filter, so we can do a low pass and a high pass. It's polyphonic, so I can play different notes together. And then we have a couple of rotary encoders that can change the octaves and the LFO rate, so kind of like a tremolo effect.
I like the chiptune sound effect.
Yeah, this is the sawtooth. It's been a lot of fun. We had Pedro made one too, so he had his kids play around with it, and they helped us kind of do a little bit of a video demo on it. So it was really fun for them to play with it. But
It's
yeah,
how good the 3D printing. It looks like like not that it never looked like a finished product, but it really looks like a finished good.
thank you. Yeah, the filaments are those kind of glitter infused filaments. So it gives it a really nice kind of shiny shiny look to it. And you get that that kind of texture on the PEI powder coated beds that are flexible, so they're really nice. You can get some really nice prints these days with filament.
All right. Well, a great collaboration. We got Synth IO from Jepler, Liz wrote the interface code. Y'all did the 3D printing. Big teamwork effort.
Yeah, thank you. Check out the Learn Guide. It's live now, and hopefully folks can build their own.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Sasha. All righty. Next up, let's go to Flyingthings, and then we're going to go to Gustav. Flyingthings.
Oops. I don't know why I'm really small. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You're tiny, but you're there.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, but I could also go.
This is fine.
All right. So I have an upgrade to my costume.
Yeah, you were on before and it was looking great. Oh, cool.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. So I have wireless pause now. There's no wires, but
Ooh.
it's hard to fix. But also, so I control.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's cool. So you can select color mode, blinking, and other eye patterns. Oh, that's cool. That's a nice effect. It looks like.
Oh, that's cool.
And then on this one.
Oh, and now you got music.
Oh, it's a synthesizer. How fun is that?
It's using this Synth IO.
Oh, cool.
Well, hot off the press with that too.
Wow, you're integrating like the newest and best into the flying squirrel technology.
Yeah. And then I also have an air guitar. This.
Oh, keeping with the theme of CircuitPython powered guitar. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a really good idea because it's hard to play an instrument in a costume.
Yeah.
So if you did air guitar, you'd actually be able to play the instrument.
It is not working exactly.
That's okay.
No, we got the gist of it.
Yeah, we know it works. It's just, live demos are tough.
I can make a video too.
Cut down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, excellent work. Keep coming back with any updates and more. That looks fantastic.
So cute.
Yeah, good work.
I love the little paw pads. Those are great little paws.
This is great.
Toe beans.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by the way, we don't set out to make CircuitPython and SynthIO and all the things for that particular project. Like that's not what we start off with, but that's the destination you get when you release things out as open source. and have tutorials and guides and make it easy.
But we look costuming.
You get all this, you get all this stuff because people can make things with the things that you make. That's really cool. Okay, Gustav, play us out. What do you got going on?
Hello. I've been on here a few times making little remote controls for my board game timer, and so I got a new one. And so this time it is it's a reverse TFT. It's a reverse TFT ESP32 with GG keys accelerometer on the back.
Okay.
And I've also tacked on a little piezo buzzer on there so I can play little tunes. And I programmed it so that the screen will rotate whenever it always follows around. No, it's not. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to write some code so that the text and the icons, so I got icons here showing what the different buttons will do.
Oh, nice.
And so when I rotate it, the icons will follow around and rotate around so they always facing the right way. And I can even resize the text and reposition the text depending on the orientation of the board. So that's kind of nice. And of course, the buttons will do different things. So I have my game timer here. Not sure how I'm going to do all of this in one go, but let's see here. Click that test there. See here.
Gustav.
It goes to the next player.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, you got that's like pretty intense to synchronize.
That's hard to do.
That's hard.
So my previous remotes have been using Bluetooth, which is then immediate. But here it goes via MQTT. So this device writes to an MQTT broker, which the app reads from.
Yeah.
So a game state topic, and then it's got a command topic. So this one writes commands, and then the app writes the game state. So that allows me to do using Wi-Fi boards instead of Bluetooth boards.
Yes.
And so
we don't have Bluetooth support yet, and CircuitPython. We're coming, maybe working on it.
And also, it means that there's no pairing step involved either. So that's
yes,
nice.
That's right.
And you see here that this red color here is kind of a darker red. So then I make the text white.
Yeah.
Hard to see here, but now we've got white text on a dark background. And if I go to the next player, which has a light background, the text goes.
Yeah, it's like gamma color matching is tough, but it looks the yellow looks really good.
And let's see if I can get it to zoom in here. The thing that was the most challenging was to get the half transparent icons to match the background of any color background. So I had to write some code so that I have an alpha opacity layer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every time I change the background, I then recalculate the palette of the bitmap so that I can get fake half transparency. It's not true transparency, but it will look transparent against a solid color. So I've written up all that code as well. I've released it on GitHub, and I wrote a guide for how to build this. Oh yeah, and if I shake it, it does
undo, done.
It does an
Back to
undo
Gustav.
action.
Oh,
So
That's cool.
that's fun.
and if I turn it face down,
Game paused.
it pauses the game. And
Yeah.
if I then
Gustav.
turn it back up again, it unpauses.
I love using that as a gesture. The simple gestures. It works really well. I do like shaking to undo. Like people are getting used to this idea of like you move the device, turn upside down to pause. It's a good idea.
I've used that with some of the other remotes, and people really do use it. Like it's a natural. You just turn the face down if you want to pause it. And
it's neat when you get used to that and you pick up something and you think it's supposed to do that, and you're like, oh wait, it doesn't.
Yeah. A friend of mine saw this and said he wanted to 3D print me a hourglass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to be a few weeks or a month or something like that.
Yeah, you could do like even with an LED matrix and do it because it looks like sand. Yeah, you could do it that way too.
We got plans, so but I'll come back for that. But yeah, so this is I can post the link to the guide.
Yeah, that's the link in Discord.
Especially the code around how to do the half transparent opacity for icons and then moving them around and rotating them and text depending on the rotation. It's kind of useful. So
okay,
outstanding.
Wonderful.
All right, thank you so much. Excellent demo.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, that's our
Perfect
show for
timing.
tonight. One cool thing about MQTT, we have a video about it where it has a little bit of history. It was used in like Facebook Messenger, and before that,
Yeah.
it was like AT&T's oil pipeline management
Yeah.
thing, because you needed to have the ability to have a connection that may or may not be reliable.
Yeah.
But there's cool things like
Satellite.
dead man switch, where like if you don't get
Yes.
something after a period of time.
It's called the last will.
Yeah, last will.
Yeah.
All sorts of neat stuff with these protocols. And we have that with Adafruit IO, and you can use that with Wi-Fi, which is pretty much the best use of it, because not everyone's going to have Bluetooth stuff anyway, so you can use it disconnected.
Yes.
From far away too, because you're
That's
not
right.
you're not relying on
And it's meant for
your PAN, your personal area network.
Oh, my PAN.
Yeah.
My LAN. My WAN.
Yeah.
My FLAN.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right.
Wrapped up. We're already.
Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for making this our favorite half an hour of the week every single week. We do show and tell every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Come share your electronics, your hardware. It can be absolutely anything that you made, built. Can be retro stuff that you want to have a blast from the past. All of those things are welcome. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you on Ask an Engineer in just a few minutes. Bye-bye.